Productivity within the workplace not only depends on the technology, but the people who work within those companies. For us to get the productivity high, we need to make sure that the people have the experience as well as the skills required to run those machines and produce those products. If you take it a step back, these people, they are actually being cultivated at TVET colleges and universities.
From a fundamental point of view, there's a lot to be changed. Concerning our curriculum is very old in a lot of sense.
So what we have noticed is that the current curriculum is quite old-fashioned and does no longer meet the needs of the industry.
A lot of the things are chalk and talk, which there's very few programs that are learner-centered. They are more lecturer-centered, if you want to have a better word. And especially when it comes to industry and skills development, we really need to have a nice boost in that area. For argument's sake, there are some programs that have been running since the 80s, which are still running today, whereby we could have upgraded and gone to a next level. And then the fourth industrial revolution, as it's been put to us lately, wouldn't have been such a surprise. We would have grown into it. But now it's come at a time where there's this huge gap between the past and the future, which we want to now start closing.
We are changing from the third industrial revolutions to the fourth industrial revolutions, meaning that those changes, it brings up a lot of confusion to people, especially in South Africa, because that's why I'm living. Hence, we have to be trained such that we have to fill the gap which is in our mind so that we can go to the world of fourth industrial revolution with other world countries or world countries.
To actually make those people much more employable and competent to run these factories, we'll probably have to invest in trainer development.
And because lecturer development is really a critical item for us in transformation of the TVET system, we then decided on a project around lecturer development and specifically about innovation and sort of advanced technology in lecturer development.
That means we have to make sure that our trainers get the necessary exposure within the workplace, as well as the necessary technologies to be able to impact the students positively. So therefore, we as companies need to play a role in actually providing space for the lecturers from TVETs to be able to be exposed to all kinds of technologies so that they can transfer that to the students who in turn are our future workers and professionals. That's how we can play a role.
It was very important for us to ensure that our lecturers become well capacitated. Through continuous training, we want to ensure that they are properly qualified, they are properly capacitated, such that they are able to carry out their tasks, with confidence in classes. It is important to ensure that our lecturers are trained in the 21st century skills and competencies, because that's what's relevant now and that's what our students need.
So with TRAINME, we would like to help renewing the curriculum and teaching contents that the students then can really apply in their workplace, so that they get jobs easier because they are more employable, because they already know what is needed in the workplace finally. So we have a very long-standing relationship and cooperation with the German government, the German and South African governments, and as part of that, through the BMBF, they made this facility available to have the TRAINME project. TRAINME stands for Modular Training and Further Education of South African TVET lecturers in Mechanical and Electrical Engineering. It is a common project of the UBZO Intercompany Training Center and the University of Stuttgart, and is funded by the German Ministry of Education and Research.
Well, the main goal of the training program is to change the mindset of the lecturers at the colleges to a more learner-centered teaching and learning.
Many of the lecturers that are teaching in the TVET college at the moment do not have a teacher's qualification.
So we want to merge our campuses with the other countries.
Well, in my opinion, I think it is to broaden our knowledge when it comes to the education system, but not only or to broaden our knowledge in that way, so that we may be able to offer our learners, our clients, a better educational experience. It's also to equip us for the future and where we are going.
So everything is much more digital because the space that we're in is much more digital. So if the space that we're moving on is digital, it also basically means that our education must also be digital.
TRAINME program is targeting lecturers to equip them with the necessary skills so that they are well prepared to adequately address these new challenges that may come in their teaching and probably in the curriculum.
The program is separated into two. There is the pedagogical component and there is the practical component. And what is good about it is that you learn the practical, but you also learn the pedagogy. So in other ways, you learn to interpret how to teach the same practical, which is something you rarely find. Normally, when you're having workshops or trainings, they focus on one part, but this one now focuses on two.
So in other words, we are not only learning how to do it, but we are also learning how to present it to the students.
It is about how to teach the new content and how does the new content look like and how do you present your new content to your learners.
For that reason, before we started to design the modules, we conducted a kind of need analysis in 2018, which was based on framework of the policy transfer by Phillips and Ox. And afterwards, then we designed the modules, and we also did an assessment and evaluation of the training itself to find out what factors enhance and or inhibit the development of knowledge of our participants in the training.
We have 4 modules in TRAINME, 2 pedagogical modules, then 1 module for the mechanical engineers, which is CAD drawing and 3D printing, and for the electrical engineers we had automation with Arduino. We have the same amount of pedagogical lessons than we do with the practical lessons, so it's more or less 50-50. And what the participants discuss in the pedagogical lessons is then transferred to the practical classrooms or to the laboratories. There was a common project between both mechanical and electrical group where they worked on together. So we tried to combine both pedagogies and practical lessons so that they can immediately apply what they have learned in the pedagogies.
So the pedagogical side from TRAINME gives them a very good understanding of classroom management, of understanding the internal, the external motivations of students, which they most probably were doing but blindly. They didn't know if they were doing it correct or incorrect.
So the first project started in January 2018 and ended in September 21. So we trained the first cohort of 20 lecturers and then started with a second cohort of 30 people, which are currently being trained by the master trainers, which we recruited out of the first group in 2019.
When we came as the first cohort, we were trained in everything. We did the pedagogics and we did the electrical side. Some of my colleagues did the mechanical side as well as the pedagogics. And I enjoyed the pedagogics so much, I decided I'm going to try and excel a bit more in the pedagogic side. And then I was elected to be a master trainer for TRAINME for the second cohort of students which came, and hence I'm still with TRAINME.
So as the first project was so successful, we were granted a follow-up project called TRAINME 2, which started in October last year. The new project focuses on digitalization, both in the classroom and in the hands-on training or for the industry.
Well, currently I was selected as one of the master trainers. I've been trained as a master trainer, still currently undergoing training. And my task really is to impart what I have learned to a new cohort of learners, other lecturers and so on, and then to multiply that into our sector.
This is the practical part of the training where we're dealing with the programming of microcontrollers. And today you see the writing test, we normally have some lessons, like yesterday we have lessons, and now we want to see what they've understood and how much they've understood. So basically you can see all their toolkits there.
From where we are, we know we program less. So now we are here now and we found ourselves having to go back and tap into our knowledge of programming and say now we have to program more. How do we use these programs to better our understanding of electricity? So it was an interesting concept.
And that's very good because learners will be learning to do something which they also perform at the end of the day and know how to do it.
As an electrician, I can be able to switch on and off a bulb by using my phone. It has been derived from an app. I've already created an app to do this. Yeah.
He uses Arduino. It's electricity. It's an electrician. It's new technology. It's part of fourth industrial. It's robotic.
This is a project of its higher profile. Using your phone, connect a Bluetooth with a bulb.
When you get to your house, you just switch off the light. You go home, or you want to light, it's on.
Next time that you can be able to switch on and off from Cape Town.
Yeah.
So we are gonna
from
design
a
data Bluetooth. With Arduino, we can do everything.
Go down, draw it.
Okay, it's not working yet, but it's gonna work now. We are fault finding. We are working on it. It's gonna work now.
You know, we had to build a motor car, as an example, that could move and sense and change direction. And some of us were, we had the mechanical guys. They built the parts for us. And then we had ourselves as the electronics guys, were able to take an Arduino, program it, and build it into a motor car and put all the sensors and everything. Everyone who's part of the program has certain levels of understanding of the field that they are in. So we put it all together, we come together and we put our ideas together on what is it that we should do, and it comes right.
The class where we are is accommodating and making you feel to be part of. I think for me, that is the greatest thing that has come out of this training. It has made learning easier for us. The materials that we are given, the explanations that are detailed, has made each time that we come to class be a worthwhile experience.
So as part of the TRAINME program, we also developed some study books. So we have material that we can hand out to the lecturers, no matter if they are master trainers or just TVET lecturers, that they can work with their students. So we give them handouts, we give them lesson plans, which we also have worked on together, which we have developed together. So that at the end of the training, they still have something to work with and won't forget the contents quite fast.
The environment for me has been awesome, such that I'd also like to be a master trainer. One, you are always allowed space to ask questions. You are learning new things every day. Even if, like, we are mechanical, so we're doing the Fusion 360 program in drawings. It's new to us, of course, some features from what we prior knowledge.
So this training is also helping me to understand much better of that in my training, which is microcontrollers. I now do microcontrollers. I've never done microcontrollers at school, but now I'm doing microcontrollers and I'm programming them, and I can see them in action doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and that makes me very, very much happy and interested in more.
It will take us to such a point where we can actually integrate technology into our classroom. Instead of only using the textbook, we can also use computers and also program and all those kind of things.
So you talk about fun and lecturing and teaching in South Africa. We love having fun, and we were laughing and enjoying ourselves from day one. And that atmosphere, I believe, has carried over into the new cohort, whereby they're enjoying it, and we actually, as the new trainers, are enjoying ourselves training them. I like to also interact with the students, especially our African students, where they hear for the first time that a white man is perhaps speaking their language, and that's also a big icebreaker where we interact with each other, and there's always fun and laughter.
The atmosphere in this TRAINME project is very good, excellent actually. Anyone from the team's master trainer or the guys from German, they are so friendly and open to us, and it's nice to live with this type of people in life.
Yeah, it is much fun. We are just enjoying every moment. Every moment. We can't even wait for the next core training or something. It's just interesting to work with them.
Yes, we really enjoy ourselves here because everyone is free to speak their mind. No one is restricting us. So the interaction, the communication, the environment, everything, the food, you guys are taking care of us. So we enjoy it.
When I started, yes, things were a bit tense because we're starting to know each other. We're coming from different cultures, different provinces. So I have enjoyed this trip or the learning experience from the first time till now. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
With all the colleagues from across the country, is that we get to learn from each other. We get to learn best practices from each other. And that is invaluable for us to see how others are doing it in other provinces. It is also I think it brings us together to bring unity amongst us as the college community.
The impact we can already see is that the colleges are using the newly gained skills of the lecturers in their daily work. So some of them have purchased 3D printers, which they're using in the classrooms. Some have started digitizing the contents of the trade test for their students. In total, I think we can say that already the colleges, the lecturers, and thus also the students and the industry where they will be employed in the future is already now benefiting of our program.
In the general of all my other subjects, the content in terms of how you should present your lesson plan, how it should be done, the structure, I've learned a lot in that space as well. Personally, yes, I've grown a lot.
Congratulations, this is a project that is well done, well needed, and I think that even going forward that it should be extended for more to come.
The program as a whole has been really supportive of enhancing the skills of the lecturers, and so that they can carry that over to their students, and it enhance them at the end of the day, so that the future generations can benefit from what they are doing now.
Yes, no, serious benefit for our own campuses, for our own colleges, ourselves, and the country at large will benefit from this TRAINME program.
We want to encourage, our lecturers to enthusiastically participate in the TRAINME project, because By doing so, they will not only improve their skills and knowledge, but they will become pioneers and be very relevant to the sector.
They love it. They really feel that it is adding a lot of value to what they're doing. I think in the end, we will also be looking at curriculum changes and making sure that this sort of technology is incorporated into the curriculum. And really, it's actually essential for every lecturer to attend and also learn the sort of fourth industrial revolution or 21st century digital skills necessary.
It's also to equip us for the future and where we are going with the teaching styles and the didactics, and how we are moving towards I think a new first world country. And I think TRAINME has done that very well for us so far.
So we really look forward to continuing our work in South Africa, as we really enjoy it and see the benefits it already brings and the impact it already has. So with just such a little project, we have already covered that much, and we hope that this effect will continue, of course.